Welcome to our Weekly News Bulletin, where we bring you the latest developments from the crossroads of India's agricultural heartland and its burgeoning green energy sector. This week, we delve into a series of transformative stories that highlight the nation's ambitious journey toward a sustainable and self-reliant future. From the fields of Uttar Pradesh to the industrial hubs of Gujarat, a quiet revolution is underway, driven by innovation, strategic government policies, and the unwavering spirit of Indian enterprise. This isn't just about reducing carbon footprints. It's a comprehensive vision that seeks to empower farmers, create rural jobs, and secure India's energy independence for generations to come. The narrative is complex, filled with triumphs and tensions, as different stakeholders navigate this new landscape. The headlines this week paint a vivid picture of this dynamic transition. We will explore how major corporations are pouring significant capital into ethanol production, directly supporting the government's visionary ethanol blending program. At the same time, we will examine how state-level policies are both accelerating and, in some cases, creating friction with national ambitions. The story of India's green fuel push is not monolithic. It is a tale of a nation grappling with the practical challenges of implementing large-scale change. We see this in the enthusiastic adoption of new crops by farmers in Karnataka, as well as the vocal concerns of villagers in Haryana who fear the environmental impact of industrial growth in their backyards. Furthermore, our bulletin will shine a light on the technological advancements propelling this movement forward. The rise of sustainable aviation fuel signals a new frontier in decarbonizing one of the world's most challenging sectors, while Maharashtra's bold bet on artificial intelligence promises to revolutionize farming practices from the ground up. These innovations are not just theoretical concepts. They are tangible solutions being implemented today, creating a ripple effect across the entire value chain. From smart engineering solutions for ethanol plants to the establishment of new biogas facilities, the momentum is undeniable, showcasing a multi-pronged approach to building a cleaner, more resilient economy for all. Join us as we unpack these critical stories, offering you a comprehensive overview of the key players, policies, and on-the-ground realities shaping India's green energy and agricultural landscape. We will investigate the numbers behind India's impressive ethanol blending achievements, the market forces influencing sugar and ethanol prices, and even the international trade dynamics that impact domestic producers. This is a story of progress, of challenges, and of a nation determined to forge a path that balances economic growth with environmental stewardship. The stakes are incredibly high, and the journey is just beginning, making every development a crucial piece of a much larger puzzle. In a significant boost to India's green fuel ambitions, Gujarat is witnessing a major push in ethanol production, led by the strategic investments of Grainspan Nutrients Private Limited. The company has committed a substantial 520 crore rupees to establish two state-of-the-art grain-based ethanol plants in the Ahmedabad district, a move that powerfully aligns with the National Ethanol Blending Program. This initiative is not just a corporate expansion, but a cornerstone of Gujarat's contribution to reducing fossil fuel dependency. By utilizing maize and rice as primary feedstocks, Grainspan is tapping into the agricultural ecosystem to create a sustainable energy source, showcasing a model of industrial growth that is intrinsically linked to rural prosperity and national energy security goals. The first of these facilities, located in Bamsara village, holds the distinction of being Gujarat's pioneer grain-based ethanol unit. It commenced operations in May 2023 with an initial production capacity of 110 kiloliters per day. This plant was notably supported by the Union Food Ministry's Interest Subsidy Scheme, highlighting the collaborative effort between private enterprise and government policy to foster a green energy landscape. The successful launch of this unit has paved the way for even more ambitious projects, setting a precedent for other players in the region and proving the viability of grain-based ethanol manufacturing in a state traditionally dominated by sugarcane distilleries. Building on this initial success, Grainspan recently commissioned a second, even larger facility with a formidable daily capacity of 240 kiloliters per day. Remarkably, this second venture was accomplished without any subsidy support, a testament to the company's confidence in the economic fundamentals of the ethanol market and its own operational efficiencies. With the commissioning of this new plant, Grainspan now operates 2 of the 3 grain-based ethanol plants in the entire state, solidifying its position as a dominant force in Gujarat's biofuel sector. This rapid scaling demonstrates not only financial strength but also a deep commitment to India's long-term green fuel roadmap. The impact of these investments has been transformative for the company's financial performance, propelling its turnover to an impressive 760 crore rupees. CEO Manoj Khandelwal has emphasized the vast potential for further growth, looking beyond domestic demand to explore burgeoning export markets. CFO Pankaj Shah confirmed the financial strategy, noting that a 120 crore rupee loan was secured for the first unit under the government's subsidy scheme, while the second, larger plant was entirely self-financed. This blend of strategic government support and robust self-investment exemplifies a powerful model for scaling India's homegrown green fuel revolution, turning agricultural resources into high-value, sustainable energy. In a significant and farmer-centric move, the Uttar Pradesh government, under the leadership of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, has launched its first-ever direct procurement drive for Rabi maize at the minimum support price. This landmark initiative for the 2024 to 2025 marketing season is designed to provide robust financial security to the state's maize cultivators, ensuring they receive a fair and predetermined price for their produce. The minimum support price has been set at 2,225 rupees per quintal, a rate that aims to cover production costs and provide a reasonable profit margin. This proactive step underscores a deep commitment to agricultural prosperity and marks a pivotal moment for farmers in 23 designated districts, who have historically faced price volatility in the open market. The procurement window has been clearly defined, running from June 15th to July 31st, offering farmers a substantial period to sell their harvest. To ensure accessibility and efficiency, procurement centers will operate daily from 9 in the morning to 6 in the evening, including holidays. To participate in this scheme, farmers are required to complete a mandatory registration process, which can be done seamlessly online through the official portal or via the user-friendly UP Kisan Mitra mobile application. This digital-first approach is intended to streamline the process, reduce bureaucratic hurdles, and bring greater transparency to the entire procurement ecosystem, empowering farmers with direct access to government support. A crucial aspect of this new system is the emphasis on secure and direct payment transfers. The government has mandated that maize sales will only be accepted from farmers whose bank accounts are linked with their Aadhaar and mapped with the National Payments Corporation of India. Payments will be processed through the Public Financial Management System, guaranteeing that the funds are transferred directly and promptly into the farmers' accounts without any intermediaries. This robust financial architecture is designed to eliminate delays and leakages, ensuring that the full benefit of the minimum support price reaches the intended recipients, thereby reinforcing trust in the system. During a recent visit to Auraiya, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath personally reaffirmed his government's unwavering dedication to farmer welfare and holistic rural development. This maize procurement drive is being presented as a core component of that broader vision. To further assist farmers, a dedicated toll-free helpline has been established, and local marketing officials are available to provide on-the-ground support and resolve any queries. This multi-pronged approach, combining guaranteed prices, digital access, and robust support mechanisms, signals a determined effort by Uttar Pradesh to build a more resilient and profitable agricultural sector from the ground up. Gujarat is rapidly cementing its position as a formidable biofuel hub within India, spearheading a massive green energy push that is attracting significant investment and fostering innovation. The state is witnessing an unprecedented surge in its ethanol production capabilities, with oil marketing companies giving the green light to 14 different companies to establish new ethanol manufacturing units. This wave of industrial development represents a colossal investment injection of approximately 3,300 crore rupees into the state's economy. The collective ambition of these projects is to achieve a staggering production capacity of 2,800 kiloliters per day, a substantial contribution that directly supports India's ambitious ethanol-blended petrol program and its target of achieving 20% blending nationwide. Leading this charge with remarkable innovation is Amul, the nation's iconic dairy cooperative. In a pioneering breakthrough, Amul has successfully developed a process to convert whey, a byproduct of cheese production, into high-quality bioethanol. Following a successful trial phase that validated the technology's potential, the dairy giant is now planning to invest 70 crore rupees to construct a dedicated plant capable of producing 50,000 liters of whey-based ethanol daily. This visionary project is not only a triumph of circular economy principles, but is also projected to significantly boost the income of dairy farmers by an estimated 700 crore rupees, creating value from what was once considered waste, and reinforcing the symbiotic link between agriculture and green energy. The momentum in Gujarat is further amplified by key players like Grainspan Nutrients Private Limited, which has already commenced significant ethanol production in Ahmedabad, inspired by the clear and supportive policy direction from the central government. Grainspan is at the forefront of this industrial transformation. Sampatraj Chowdhury, the company's chairman, has underscored the importance of efficiently utilizing agricultural resources such as maize and rice to meet the country's escalating energy demands. This strategic focus on non-sugarcane feedstocks diversifies the raw material base for ethanol production, enhancing the resilience and scalability of the entire biofuel ecosystem, while providing new revenue streams for farmers growing these crops. The green fuel revolution in Gujarat is drawing a diverse array of industrial groups. True Green Bioenergy Limited, a part of the Chirapal Group, is investing 350 crore rupees to set up a large-scale 300 kiloliters per day plant near Ahmedabad, which will utilize raw materials sourced from the Food Corporation of India. Similarly, Kaniva Industries LLP is contributing to the mission, with plans for a 120 crore rupee facility designed to produce 100 kiloliters per day. This broad-based participation signals strong market confidence and a collective drive toward a sustainable future. The confluence of investment, innovation, and policy support is fueling a cleaner, more self-reliant India, with Gujarat firmly at the epicenter of this transformation. While India's green fuel mission is accelerating nationwide, it is now encountering significant headwinds from within, as northern states introduce new levies on ethanol production. This has sparked tension between center and state governments, particularly in Haryana, Punjab, and Himachal Pradesh, raising concerns among ethanol producers and policymakers. These state-level taxes challenge the economic viability of the national ethanol blending program. The conflict centers on balancing state revenue generation with the national imperative for sustainable energy, a balance now under considerable strain. In a clear sign of escalating concern, the Union Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has formally intervened, dispatching a letter to the chief secretaries of involved states. The communication urges governments to reconsider and roll back the controversial excise policy provisions. The ministry has flagged Haryana's newly imposed 1 rupee per bulk litre pass fee, an additional 1 rupee 20 paise per bulk litre import duty. Producers argue such measures undermine the core objectives of the ethanol blending program by creating unfavorable business conditions and eroding razor-thin industry margins, discouraging investment in production capacity. The center's warning comes at a critical juncture for the EBP, which has seen remarkable success over the past decade. Ethanol blending has surged from 1.5% to nearly 19%, with a 20% target for 2025 to 2026. Federal officials warn these levies could create double taxation, as ethanol is already subject to GST. This financial burden threatens to make production unviable, potentially derailing progress and jeopardizing climate and energy security targets. This contrasts sharply with supportive states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Odisha, which promote ethanol infrastructure through incentives and supportive regulatory frameworks. This gives them competitive advantage in attracting investment. Despite Haryana's major EBP contribution with 19% blending and new plant construction, its levies draw sharp criticism from the Grain Ethanol Manufacturers Association. Producers call for immediate withdrawal of these fees, citing unviable feedstock prices and fixed sale rates, emphasizing taxes threaten jobs, farmer incomes, and emission goals. Karnataka's Kharif season is off to a strong start, with over 20 lakh hectares already sown, 25% of the state's target. Maize leads the surge, up 12% from last year, while soybean acreage is also rising, reflecting farmer confidence in these crops. Cereals overall are up, but paddy and millets lag, indicating a shift in land use. Pulses are slightly down, with tur declining but moong gaining ground. Cotton and sugarcane acreage have dipped, while tobacco and sunflower see minor increases. Overall, Karnataka's early momentum signals a promising, though varied, Kharif season. India's ethanol blending rate hit 19.8% in May, nearly reaching the 20% target for 2025 to 26. Ethanol supply has soared from 38 crore litres in 2013 to 14 to over 700 crore litres in 2023 to 24, thanks to robust government policies. Public sector oil companies procured 92.5 crore litres in May alone, integrating ethanol into the national fuel mix. Domestic production capacity now exceeds 1,800 crore litres annually, ensuring supply stability. This rapid progress is reducing import dependency and carbon emissions. India's ethanol wave is powering a cleaner, more self-reliant energy future. India's sugar output is projected to fall by up to 15% this season, down to around 29 million tons, due to weaker yields and disease. Ethanol production is diverting 3.4 million tons of sugar, tightening supplies and pushing inventories close to minimum safety levels. Rising feedstock costs and stagnant ethanol prices are squeezing distillery margins, threatening sector profitability. Integrated sugar firms saw flat revenues and shrinking margins last year. Sustaining ethanol growth will require better pricing, diverse raw materials, and continued investment in fuel infrastructure. Policy clarity and innovation are crucial as India balances food security with green energy goals. Sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, is revolutionizing aviation, cutting life cycle emissions by up to 80% compared to conventional jet fuel. Over 400,000 flights have already used SAF blends, proving its safety and compatibility with existing infrastructure. Production is scaling up through diverse feedstocks and advanced technologies like HEFA and Fischer-Tropsch. Companies like PAC ensure SAF meets strict global standards. High costs and feedstock availability remain challenges, but investment and innovation are accelerating. SAF is set to transform aviation's carbon footprint, one flight at a time. Maharashtra's new Maha-Agri AI policy aims to embed artificial intelligence across agriculture, backed by a Rs 500 crore investment. The focus is on boosting yields, especially in sugarcane, through precision farming and data-driven advisories. Farmers will benefit from optimized resource use, pest prediction, and lower input costs. The policy tackles adoption barriers with subsidies, soft loans, digital kiosks, and training. Consolidated farming and public-private partnerships are key to scaling innovation. With strong execution, Maharashtra could become India's model for smart, sustainable agriculture. As the global and domestic demand for ethanol continues its upward trajectory, the focus is sharpening on the infrastructure required to support this green fuel boom. The rapid expansion of the biofuel sector has created a burgeoning demand for sophisticated engineering, procurement, and construction solutions. These integrated services are becoming absolutely critical for fast-tracking the development of new ethanol plants, particularly in India, which has set an ambitious target to double its production capacity by the year 2025. This goal is essential for meeting the nation's 20% ethanol blending mandate, placing immense pressure on the industry to build new facilities quickly, efficiently, and to the highest standards of modern engineering. The scale of this global expansion is underscored by projections from the International Energy Agency, which forecasts that global ethanol output will climb from 106 billion litres in 2023 to an impressive 119 billion litres by 2027. In the Indian context, this global push has cast a spotlight on the critical importance of front-end processes within an ethanol plant, specifically the unloading and milling of grain feedstocks. These initial stages are now widely recognized as vital performance drivers that can significantly impact the overall efficiency, yield, and profitability of the entire production cycle. As such, optimizing these processes has become a key priority for developers and operators alike. In response to this need, modern EPC firms are rising to the challenge by introducing innovative and intelligent solutions. They are streamlining the grain unloading phase with advanced systems that include highly effective dust suppression technologies and real-time monitoring to ensure safety and minimize material loss. In the milling stage, the deployment of advanced hammer mills and energy-efficient drives is proving to be a game changer. According to data from the United States, these technological upgrades can boost ethanol yield by a significant 6 to 8%, a substantial improvement that directly enhances the economic viability of a plant. These smart solutions are redefining the benchmarks for operational excellence in the biofuel industry. The adoption of integrated EPC models offers a multitude of advantages beyond just process optimization. This approach provides developers with better cost control throughout the project lifecycle, accelerates construction timelines, and facilitates the seamless integration of smart automation. By leveraging technologies like the Internet of Things and supervisory control and data acquisition systems, EPC firms can deliver plants that are not just productive, but also intelligent and data-driven. With government mandates accelerating project timelines, EPC-led ethanol plants, built on a foundation of efficiency and sustainability, are poised to become the primary engines powering India's clean fuel future. In the eastern heartland of India, the state of Bihar is rapidly and strategically positioning itself to become a formidable ethanol production hub, setting an ambitious target to achieve this status by 2026. This major industrial push is centered around a clear blueprint for growth, which includes the establishment of 9 new, large-scale ethanol plants across the state. This initiative is designed to serve a dual purpose: to fundamentally revitalize Bihar's traditional sugarcane sector and to drive comprehensive rural development by creating new economic opportunities. By aligning its industrial policy with India's broader biofuel mission, Bihar is preparing to make a significant contribution to the nation's energy security, while simultaneously empowering its agricultural community and modernizing its agro-industrial landscape. The commitment to this vision was recently reaffirmed at a high-level meeting held in Patna, where Sugarcane Industry Minister Krishnanandan Paswan outlined the state's progress and future plans. A key highlight of the meeting was the announcement that an impressive 99.8% of all outstanding sugarcane dues to farmers have already been cleared, demonstrating the government's firm commitment to ensuring timely and fair payments. The minister also issued a stern warning, emphasizing that strict action will be taken against any sugar mills that delay payments to farmers in the future. This focus on farmer welfare is a cornerstone of the state's strategy, aiming to build trust and ensure a stable supply of feedstock for both sugar and ethanol production. Beyond ensuring financial security for farmers, the state is actively promoting the swift implementation of several flagship agricultural schemes. These include the Chief Minister's Sugarcane Development Scheme and the Bihar Jaggery Promotion Scheme, both of which are designed to strengthen the foundations of the state's agroeconomy. A significant part of this effort involves investing in the development and distribution of high-yielding sugarcane seeds, produced through advanced tissue culture techniques to boost crop productivity and resilience. Simultaneously, the government is providing robust support to traditional jaggery producers, recognizing their vital role in the rural economy and seeking to integrate them into the larger growth narrative. The high-level discussions in Patna also saw active participation from officials representing sugar mills in both Bihar and neighboring Uttar Pradesh, fostering a collaborative environment for driving regional growth. With the national and global demand for biofuels steadily rising, Bihar's determined stride into the ethanol sector is perfectly timed. This strategic pivot is set to create a powerful engine for economic progress, empowering lakhs of farmers with new and stable income streams, generating significant rural employment, and fueling a greener, more self-reliant tomorrow for both the state and the nation. Bihar's ethanol uprising is well and truly underway. In a major move to diversify India's green energy portfolio, state-run oil marketing giant Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited is making a substantial commitment to the biogas sector. The company has announced plans to invest a significant 2,000 crore rupees over the next 2 to 3 years to establish a network of 24 new compressed biogas plants. This strategic expansion will be executed under HPCL's dedicated green energy arm, signaling a focused effort to build a robust alternative fuels business. Each of these new plants is designed with a daily production capacity ranging from 10 to 15 tons, turning a diverse array of organic waste materials into a valuable clean energy resource for the nation. The feedstocks for these plants will be sourced from the very heart of India's economy, utilizing agricultural waste, abundant cattle dung, and municipal sewage. This circular economy model not only produces clean fuel, but also offers a sustainable solution for waste management, reducing pollution and creating value from materials that would otherwise be discarded. With 2 compressed biogas units already operational, HPCL's ambitious expansion plan is perfectly aligned with India's broader net zero ambitions. It directly supports the government's recent mandate to blend 1% compressed biogas into the national supply of automotive and cooking gas, a policy that sets a clear roadmap for the sector's growth and integration. This blending mandate is not a static target, but a progressive one, designed to scale up rapidly. The government has set a clear trajectory for increasing the share of compressed biogas, with the blending requirement set to rise systematically to 5% by the year 2028 to 2029. This policy provides a crucial demand-side assurance for investors like HPCL, creating a stable and growing market for compressed biogas. The current daily demand for gas used in vehicles and kitchens in India stands at approximately 28 million metric standard cubic meters per day, a figure that is projected to grow substantially to 44 million metric standard cubic meters per day in the coming years. To meet this escalating demand and achieve its blending targets, India aims to have a total of 480 operational compressed biogas plants across the country. Within this national goal, state-run oil firms are tasked with setting up 195 of these facilities, with HPCL's 24 new plants forming a significant part of this public sector contribution. This concerted effort, transforming farm waste into a clean flame for India's kitchens and vehicles, marks a critical chapter in the nation's green gas revolution. The journey from agricultural residue to refined energy is well underway, promising a cleaner, more sustainable, and self-reliant energy future for all. Even as India champions its green energy transition, a stark reminder of the complexities involved is unfolding in Jajjar, Haryana, where progress is meeting powerful grassroots resistance. A proposal to construct a 150 kiloliters per day grain-based ethanol distillery in Goria village has ignited a firestorm of protest from local communities. Residents from 8 surrounding villages, including Goria, Badangi, Koharad, Mumtazpur, and Lailod, have united in opposition, voicing grave fears about the project's potential environmental fallout. They are deeply concerned that the plant will lead to severe soil degradation, contaminate precious groundwater resources, and ultimately threaten the agricultural way of life that has sustained their families for generations. The simmering discontent boiled over at a recent panchayat meeting, where a large and determined crowd of villagers solidified their opposition. In a move signaling organized and long-term resistance, they formed a 20-member committee specifically tasked with leading the campaign to halt the project. A key grievance fueling the anger is the allegation that the agricultural land designated for the distillery was repurposed for industrial use without any meaningful public consultation or consent from the local community. This perceived lack of transparency has deepened the mistrust between the villagers and the project proponents, creating a significant obstacle to any potential dialogue or compromise. Goria's Sarpanch, Ajit Singh, highlighted the unified front presented by the community, pointing to the significant turnout at the panchayat, particularly among women, as a powerful indicator of the widespread and deeply felt concern. The villagers feel that their voices have been systematically ignored. Protesters claim that their earlier pleas and petitions submitted to district officials have gone completely unheard, leaving them with no option but to escalate their agitation. This sense of disenfranchisement has only hardened their resolve, with the community now preparing for stronger and more sustained forms of resistance, unless their demand to scrap the project entirely is met. In response to these allegations, district officials have presented a contrasting narrative. They maintain that a formal public hearing regarding the project was indeed conducted on May 20th, with a reported attendance of 138 participants. Officials assert that the concerns raised by the public during this session were duly noted and addressed. However, this assurance has done little to placate the residents, who remain unconvinced and steadfast in their opposition. The situation in Jhajjar has thus become a critical flashpoint, starkly illustrating the inherent tensions that can arise when national clean energy ambitions clash directly with the local livelihoods and environmental priorities of rural communities. A new comprehensive report from the PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or PhDCC, presents a fascinating energy paradox for India. Even as the nation aggressively pursues a clean energy transition, its appetite for conventional fuels is set to grow substantially. The report forecasts that India's demand for petroleum products is projected to expand at a compound annual growth rate of about 5.37% between 2025 and 2030. This surge will be primarily driven by robust expansion in the manufacturing and transport sectors, which remain the backbone of the country's economic growth. Key products expected to lead this charge include diesel petrol aviation, turbine fuel, and petroleum coke, highlighting their continued importance in the medium term. The demand for natural gas is also poised for a significant jump, with the PhDCCI report projecting a nearly 60% increase to reach 103 billion cubic meters by 2030. This growth will be fueled by major contributions from the city gas distribution network, which is expanding rapidly to serve households and vehicles, as well as from the industrial and manufacturing sectors that are increasingly adopting gas as a cleaner alternative. This dual rise in demand for both petroleum and gas underscores the immense scale of India's energy needs as its economy continues to develop and urbanize at a rapid pace, creating a complex challenge for policymakers. Despite this rising demand, the report highlights India's persistent vulnerability in the energy sector as the nation continues to import over 85% of its crude oil requirements. This high level of import dependency exposes the economy to significant risks associated with global price volatility and geopolitical instability. Flashpoints in critical maritime choke points like the Strait of Hormuz and the Suez Canal add another layer of supply risk capable of disrupting supply chains and causing sharp price shocks. On a more positive note for consumers, the report forecasts that global Brent crude prices are expected to ease from an average of $81 per barrel in 2024 to around $66 by 2026. On the domestic production front, the outlook is mixed. India's domestic crude oil output is expected to peak at 48.5 million metric tons by the fiscal year 2027, before beginning a gradual decline. In contrast, domestic natural gas production is projected to follow an upward trajectory, rising to 54.7 billion cubic meters by fiscal year 30, which will help meet some of the growing demand. A major policy goal highlighted in the report is the government's ambition to significantly increase the share of natural gas in India's primary energy mix, aiming to lift it from the current 6% to 15% by 2030. This strategic shift is central to building a cleaner, more resilient, and less carbon-intensive energy future for the nation. In a significant trade policy development, the European Commission has taken decisive action by withdrawing preferential tariff benefits on non-fuel ethanol imports originating from Pakistan. This move comes in direct response to what the EU has termed a significant market disruption, citing that the surge in low-priced Pakistani ethanol was severely undercutting domestic producers within the European Union. The decision highlights the growing friction in global trade, where supportive trade policies can be suspended when they are perceived to cause material injury to local industries. For Pakistan, which had become a major supplier to the EU, this suspension represents a considerable setback and a challenge to its export-oriented ethanol sector. The data underpinning the EU's decision paints a stark picture of market dynamics. In 2023, Pakistan was responsible for supplying over a quarter of all non-fuel ethanol imports into the European Union. The volume of these exports had experienced an explosive growth, surging by an astonishing 300% between the years 2021 and 2022. This rapid influx of Pakistani ethanol into the European market coincided with a period of significant distress for EU-based producers. In a clear sign of the negative impact, domestic ethanol output across the EU registered a noticeable 8% drop in 2023 when compared to the production levels recorded just 2 years earlier in 2021. The European Commission's official statement explicitly linked the timing and volume of Pakistan's import spike to the serious disturbances plaguing the EU's internal market. These disturbances included a sharp and sustained decline in ethanol prices, which squeezed profit margins for local manufacturers and led to a tangible shrinkage in local production capacity as some facilities were forced to scale back operations. As a result of these findings, the Commission has imposed a suspension of the tariff preferences for a period of 2 years, a measure intended to provide the domestic industry with a breathing space to recover and stabilize. The move was met with a degree of approval from EU ethanol producers, who had been lobbying for protective measures against what they viewed as unfair competition. However, their reaction was tempered, as many had hoped for a longer safeguard period of 3 years to ensure a more robust and lasting market correction. The broader context for this decision is a near doubling of total non-fuel ethanol imports into the EU since 2021 from various sources. This trend continues to fuel high-level concerns within the bloc regarding the principles of fair trade, the long-term stability of its industrial base, and the need to balance open markets with the protection of domestic economic interests. In a significant development for Uttar Pradesh's green energy landscape, Ethorka Private Limited has announced a major investment of 150 crore rupees to establish a state-of-the-art ethanol plant in Varanasi. This ambitious project, located in the Sewapuri block, will feature a 120 kiloliters per day grain-based distillery, underlining the growing momentum for non-sugarcane feedstocks in India's biofuel sector. Crucially, the facility is being designed as a zero-liquid discharge plant, a commitment that highlights a strong focus on environmental sustainability and responsible industrial practices. This venture is poised to become a cornerstone of the region's contribution to the National Ethanol Blending Program, directly supporting India's strategic goals of enhancing energy security and reducing its heavy reliance on imported fossil fuels. The project was officially launched with a foundation stone-laying ceremony held under the prestigious Invest UP's Global Business Conclave 4.0, an event graced by the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. This high-profile inauguration signals strong governmental backing and integrates the project into the state's broader industrial development agenda. With operations slated to commence by mid-2026, the plant promises to deliver a significant and transformative impact on the rural economy of Varanasi and its surrounding areas. It is envisioned not just as an industrial unit, but as a catalyst for comprehensive rural upliftment, creating a virtuous cycle of growth and opportunity for the local population. The anticipated benefits for the local community are substantial and multifaceted. The construction and operation of the plant will lead to significant direct and indirect job creation, offering new employment avenues in a predominantly agrarian region. Furthermore, the facility will enhance farmer income by creating a stable and local market for their grain produce, reducing transportation costs and eliminating dependency on distant markets. This local procurement model is central to the project's vision of fostering inclusive growth and ensuring that the economic benefits are shared directly with the agricultural community. The commitment to sustainable operations further ensures that this economic progress does not come at the cost of environmental health. Pragya Singh, the founder and managing director of Ethorka, has hailed the project as a landmark green milestone, emphasizing its role in powering a more sustainable and self-reliant future. The company is currently in the process of securing all necessary documentation and regulatory approvals, a critical phase for ensuring a smooth and timely project execution. Proactive discussions with state government officials are already underway to facilitate this process and explore further avenues of support. This new plant in the spiritual heartland of Varanasi stands as a powerful symbol of progress, blending industrial innovation with a deep-seated commitment to inclusive growth and environmental stewardship. As we draw this weekly bulletin to a close, the narrative woven through these 16 distinct chapters paints a comprehensive and dynamic portrait of India's journey toward a green energy future. It is a story of immense ambition, marked by staggering investments, pioneering innovation, and a clear top-down policy drive. From Grainspan's massive ethanol plants in Gujarat to Bihar's strategic vision of becoming a biofuel powerhouse, The momentum is undeniably powerful. The nation is making tangible progress, as evidenced by the near milestone achievement of 19.8% ethanol blending, a testament to a decade of focused effort. This multi-pronged approach, which spans from the fields of Karnataka to the high-tech corridors of Maharashtra, showcases a nation determined to rewrite its energy and agricultural destiny. However, this journey is not a simple linear path to success. It is a complex and often challenging balancing act. The headlines this week reveal the inherent tensions that arise when national ambitions intersect with local realities. The protests by villagers in Jajjar, Haryana, serve as a potent reminder that the pursuit of green energy cannot be divorced from environmental stewardship and community consensus. Similarly, the friction between the center and northern states over ethanol levies highlights the critical need for policy harmony to ensure the economic viability of the very industry being promoted. These challenges underscore that sustainable development must be socially, economically, and politically sustainable, requiring constant dialogue and delicate negotiation between all stakeholders involved. The drive for innovation stands out as a powerful undercurrent, promising to resolve many of these complex challenges. The advent of sustainable aviation fuel opens a new frontier for decarbonization, while Maharashtra's bet on artificial intelligence in farming could redefine agricultural productivity and resource management for generations. The growing demand for smart EPC solutions demonstrates that the entire industrial ecosystem is evolving to meet the demands of this green revolution. These technological leaps, coupled with grassroots initiatives like Amul's Way to Ethanol project, illustrate a national capacity for creative problem-solving and a commitment to building a circular economy where waste is transformed into wealth. Ultimately, India's race toward its green energy future is a marathon, not a sprint. It demands a delicate equilibrium between promoting large-scale industrial growth and protecting rural livelihoods, between setting ambitious national targets and fostering supportive state-level policies, and between celebrating successes and honestly addressing setbacks. The stories from this week of investment and protest, of policy and innovation, of bumper crops and market tensions, collectively reinforce the urgent need for this balanced approach. As India continues to navigate this intricate path, its success will depend on its ability to innovate, adapt, and ensure that the benefits of this green transition are shared by all, securing a cleaner, more prosperous, and self-reliant future for the nation.